I've never been good at planning vacations, so I let AI do it for me. I had a week-long vacation in Sydney, Australia, and I had no idea what to do there. I used the AI created itinerary and it was interesting. In this video, I'm gonna talk about how accurate is the AI, can it accommodate unexpected changes, how does it compare to traditional travel planning, can it recommend off the beaten path recommendations, and overall just my thoughts and opinions. Without further ado, pack your luggages because we are going to Sydney, Australia. So before we start, we kind of need to get like a general idea of what we're gonna do when we arrive there. Now, if you're like me, you know, booking the hotels, booking the flight, that's easy peasy, but planning what we're going to do when we get there, it just stresses me out. In the past, normally I would just kind of Google the destination and then click on multiple websites and then create my own list. And when I get to the destination, I just kind of tick them off one by one, like a checklist. This time, however, because AI is like this whole new thing and the tech world, I decided that I'm going to have it act as a travel agent and create an itinerary. So before I left on my trip, I then input my preferences. I normally don't like doing touristy stuff. However, I was going with my family who likes to do touristy stuff. So we kind of compromised and we ended up doing touristy stuff. So for my prompt, I kept it very simple. Pretend you are a travel agent who was born and raised in Sydney, Australia. You have a best friend coming to your hometown for a week and would like to explore the main attractions of the city. Create a day-by-day itinerary highlighting Sydney's popular sites. So this became my foundation, and then I was able to customize it further. My family and I, we are a big foodie family and we love to eat our way through a new city. So I customized the prompt a little bit to then add restaurants. In addition, my family and I, we really don't drink alcohol, so going to wineries, clubs, bars, breweries are just out of the question. So I then customized it even more. By adding those two parameters, it gave me new suggestions. So therefore, AI is highly customizable and it does a good job of understanding your preference and needs. However, I will say that it all depends on how specific your parameter is. So for example, if you want a really unique view of the Sydney Opera House, make sure that you mention that explicitly in the prompt. That way AI can generate the answer that you're looking for. And last parameter, my family doesn't like to do a full day's worth of activity because we really just don't like feeling rushed. I mean, it is vacation after all. We generally like to do one or two activities throughout the day, and then in between we're just relaxing, just walking around, shopping, or doing whatever that we find along the way. Therefore, I prompted AI to create me an itinerary with one or two things per day. And voila, we have the final itinerary. So did my family and I actually enjoy the recommendations? And yes, throughout this day, the suggestions were in line with what my family wanted to do. I had my family create a list of things that they wanted to see, do, eat, whatever. And I compared that to the itinerary that AI created, and they were very much in line and in sync with what they wanted to do. It is very accurate in terms of planning and suggesting things that you want to do. However, the main takeaway here is that you just have to be very specific. So how does it compare to traditional travel planning? Personally, for me, I hate planning, and this was much easier and faster. The AI itinerary depends on how hands-on you want it to be. It can provide you with a list of things to do, and then you can just kind of create your own schedule and, you know, put things where you want, or it can create a schedule for you. Depends on what your style is. However, I will say that most of the suggestions were in reference to popular travel websites such as TripAdvisor. Therefore, AI suggestion, there was nothing unique or outstanding about it compared to other travel websites that you can find on Google. Now, can it recommend off the beaten path recommendations? I do find that if you solely rely on AI's itinerary, you will miss out on hidden gems. For example, there were 2 night markets that occurred during the trip that was not picked up by AI and was only discovered by asking the locals. These night markets were actually for a special occasion, and you would only know about it if you were in Sydney, Australia. In addition, there was this ramen place that always had a line. You know, it didn't matter if it was a weekday, school night, a weekend, it always had a line. It was like this hole in the wall ramen place. It ended up being our favorite, and it was not picked up by AI at all. Because of this, I highly recommend having AI build the base for your trip, and then you just fill in the rest of the wiggle room. Just make sure that you do not miss those hidden gems. I feel like these hidden gems just make your trip much more unique and memorable compared to others. And, you know, just a little off tangent here, but I feel like the beauty of traveling is the ability to discover something that makes your trip unique and memorable to you instead of following someone else's vacation. And lastly, can it accommodate unexpected changes? So when traveling to Australia at this time of the year, it ended up being wintertime over there. The seasons are flipped compared to LA. So the weather was constantly changing. If it wasn't the fluctuating cold temperatures, it was the rain. The thing about this is that AI is not the best at taking into consideration of the weather. Initially, it was raining the entire time that we were going to be in Sydney. However, when we were there, it ended up being sunny more days than it was cloudy / raining. So we jumped on that opportunity and we went to the beach during the winter. We went to Bondi Beach, and I took on that opportunity, and it happened to be the warmest day too, to get into the Bondi pool and do a couple laps. So because of this, you know, AI, I just feel like cannot adapt to, you know, weather changes, mood, energy levels, but neither can we, nor can travel agents, nor can the weather apps. I do recommend that if you're going to use AI to create you a schedule, to have it create you a very loose schedule where you can move things around depending on, you know, weather, your mood, energy levels. That way, if you need to make changes, you can make changes. So AI is a very useful tool in travel planning, especially for those that do not like the planning process. Some key points that I just want to go over. So it is very efficient. AI significantly speeds up the planning process by providing a basic framework and list of suggestions. Second thing, it's highly customizable. The level of customization is going to depend on how specific your input and parameters are. Third, limitations with it. So AI does struggle with unexpected changes, such as weather, and it may overlook hidden gems. AI is just ideal for creating a general itinerary, but I feel like human input is essential for adding that personal touch. So overall, AI serves as a helpful starting point for travel planning, but it should not be relied on exclusively. I feel like the best itinerary is going to be a combination of AI generated suggestions with personal touches and on the ground exploration, because all three of those combined will lead to a more enriching, unique travel experience. So that is all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!